and prediction itself with the Delos Santos and Shakur Stevenson fight coming up. Um, a lot of people haven't really, um, don't really know too much about Delos Santos besides his last two outings. Um,
Hmm.
what do you think about the matchup, and what do you think about it as far as it being? Do you think it's a better matchup than Shakur and Frank Martin, or do you think this is a dangerous fight for Shakur itself?
All fights are dangerous when you're not handpicking the guy. When you got a guy in his prime that's motivated, it can always be dangerous. De Los Santos can fight. I seen him fight a couple of times. He knocked out the kid. I forget his name, but they call him
Brian
Orion.
Valenzuela.
Yeah, you got it from Benavidez camp. I seen him beat him. He can fight. Um, it's hard to pick against Shakur Stevenson though. I ain't gonna try to overthink it. Shakur Stevenson is one of the best fighters in the world. He might be the most difficult style to beat. I don't think I've ever seen him get hit with a combination. He got hit with single shot. I don't think I ever seen him get hit with like two shots, like bang bang. I don't think I ever seen him get hit like that. So uh, it's hard to pick against Stevenson. Actually, I seen Shakur in Vegas, and I said, man, the safest bet in boxing is Shakur Stevenson by unanimous decision, and he started laughing.
Mhm.
So, you know, um, yes, De Los Santos got a chance. Yes, he's heavy-handed. Yes, he's motivated, but I just can't pick against Shakur Stevenson right now. It gotta be a special fighter to beat him. It seems like that he trained hard and he don't have bad nights. He don't seem like he's inconsistent. Sometimes great fighters, they be inconsistent. And then you kind of look at him and be like, you know what, man, you catch him at the right time. But he's a guy that seems like every fight looked the same way. You know what I mean? So he probably really into his training. So right now, I say Shakur Stevenson by unanimous decision. But he could have his moments in the fight, dude. We haven't seen Stevenson get hit on his chin, and that dude can punch. You know what I mean? So, I could remember one fight Stevenson didn't really engage. I think it was a tall guy. I can't remember his name. I think dude was a good puncher, and he kind of like kept him. He kind of like boxed a boring fight, and I could tell he was like mad at his performance. But I think he played it safe because dude had heavy hands. So I could see one of
The
those kind of
African
fights.
Nakatilia.
Yeah, yep, you got it, you got it. And he kind of was like, like man, like he got a little criticism for that performance. That dude could punch. So and he's in there feeling it. We not feeling it. So he kind of fought like I won't say a boring fight, but a safety first fight. And then everybody like, kind of crapped on the performance a little bit. So, you know, I don't look at that as a chink in his armor, but we have seen him play it safe when he's in there with a big puncher. So from everything that I hear in the gyms, around the word on the curb, that De Los Santos is a real puncher. I heard he gives real puncher. Like he's a heavy-handed, sparky dude. So if he hits Shakur with something Shakur don't like, I could see Shakur playing it safe and just pecking and poking and see, you know what I mean, and just playing it safe for the decision. But I don't know. Shakur's probably matured since then, probably got a little stronger, a little more confident. So let's see how, let's see how he react. But I don't forget nothing. And that fight with the tall African dude, it did happen. So, let's see how he deals with a puncher moving forward.
Do you think that's the similar fight that we're gonna get in that fight?
I don't know because the African dude was tall. De Los Santos not that tall. But
Right.
African dude was kind of tall, so Shakur had to he had to be careful with that dude, man. That dude had heavy hands.
So we
So
might be getting a better fight then because he probably
yeah,
has
yeah,
shorter arms and he's gonna take
yeah,
more risks.
yeah. I think so. But listen, I'm picking Shakur. I think he's a fantastic fighter, but I don't want to give nobody credit for nothing he haven't done yet. Let's see how he do, man. Because like I said, I know a few people that inspired with De Los Santos. I know some coaches that been around him. I know some matchmakers, and believe it or not, people giving him a chance in this fight. Like if he hits Shakur in the chin, he gonna knock him out. I
I
don't
mean,
believe that.
it is plus 800, but
Yeah, I don't believe that. I believe Shakur will win. I'm really high on Shakur Stevenson, but we gotta see. Great fighters have had their nights, man. I can remember I had just bought um my first house and I hadn't had like I was in there for like 3 months. I hadn't had like a lot of people over yet. And I had like a little housewarming and a fight party the same night. And the fight party was Shane Mosley versus Vernon Forrest, the first fight. And I'm sitting there watching the fight, and as the fight going, I was so confident Shane Mosley was going to win. I was betting after he got knocked down, like, because he was 38-0, 35 knockouts. Nobody had ever seen him go through anything. Like, I'm like, he gonna come back and win. This dude is the real deal. Vernon Forrest won that fight, and I never forget that, man. So anything can happen, man. It's boxing. Sometimes you just run into a dude, they have your number. We didn't seen guys have other guys' numbers. Marco Antonio Barrera, man, that dude, that's my favorite Mexican fighter. He lost to Junior Jones. I was like, damn. Like I had to see it again. Junior Jones did it again. You know what I mean? Roy Jones. Roy Jones lost to Antonio Tarver, man. Like things can happen. And they certainly on the level of Shakur. So, Roy Jones could lose, anybody could lose. So we got to see the fights. Let them sort it out. But you asked me my pick. I know you want a clean pick. Shakur Stevenson by unanimous decision.
So, like in that fight specifically, like, I asked Shakur, and I asked him, hey, like, do you think this is the best guy in your resume? And he says, I don't know, I haven't fought him. In your eyes, who do you think, when it comes down to De Los Santos and some of the guys that Shakur has been in the ring with, um, where does he place in, you think, his resume?
Um, I gotta see the fight, but right now I would think that Valdez was the top guy on his resume.
Valdez?
I mean, that was the unification, right?
Yeah, yeah. But
Unification.
that was at 130 versus this fight being
But Valdez is
235
more
pounds.
more established, bigger name, bigger. You know what I mean? So I'd say Valdez, but sometimes, man,
But
the biggest.
skills, I know what the statistics say. I want to know what you believe in
Let me
your
see a little
eyes.
bit more of De Los Santos. Let me see a little bit more. I want to see a little bit more. Be fair. You know, I knew more Valdez. So Valdez had the bigger win. He knocked out Burchell. This was a little bit further along as far as establishing itself. So let me just see a little bit more De Los Santos before, before I see that. Before I could say something like that.
Mm. But in at least with this fight, do you think it's going to be competitive?
See, I thought the Valdez fight was competitive in terms as the danger and him trying to win. Bro, he hurt Shakur with a body shot. It wasn't competitive as far as points. But Valdez had some good moments. You know what I mean? If you look close, he hit Shakur with a nice body shot towards the ropes. He landed some nice low shots. But Shakur is just so hard to win rounds on him. When he's winning 9 and 10 rounds, the fight don't look competitive in terms of points. But he's making it look easy. At this level, them fights ain't easy, man. So I think it's gonna be competitive because De Los Santos is a little bit bigger. If I'm not mistaken, he's a southpaw also. Um,
Yes.
Bigger puncher. I think he's a little bit bigger puncher than Valdez. So, Shakur probably have to be a little bit more careful
A little
early.
bit bigger in size as well.
Yeah, so uh I think that in terms of the danger, De Los Santos is gonna be more dangerous opponent. You know what I mean? I don't like because sometimes, man, you got guys thinking the fight be easy because they be like winning by a landslide. But in that fight, if a dude is still trying and he's landing his shots and he's still pushing you, it don't be easy to the guy in there. He just be making it look easy. You know what I mean? This is the top level of boxing. These dudes is here for a reason. So just because Shakur is winning 118, 110, that don't mean that they easy. Those are threats in there. And like I said, Valdez hurt Shakur with a body shot. You know what I mean? He got to him. It was a nasty. People didn't see it, but I seen it. And then it's funny because afterwards, Shakur talked about it in an interview. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? So we looking at it as even. We looking at it as an easy fight, and Shakur like, man, I almost threw up. So I don't say that because I've seen it. I've been in fights. I mean, yo, this is no lie. I had a One of my guys had a fight, and he won the fight every round. It was a 10 round fight. He won 100 to 89 on all the judges' scorecards. But we was in Canada and he ate some bad well, I don't even want to say bad, but he had like some linguine, like some lobster and some noodles or whatever, and it didn't sit well with him. Bro, he had like the runs and like the whole fight, like he had like the bubbles guts. We had to run back to the locker room so we can go to the bathroom. Now imagine your post fight meal do that to you, your post weigh in meal do that to you, and you in a fight that everybody else is thinking is easy, but you're about to do a number two on yourself. So it
Mm.
ain't easy in his mind. He's stressed out. And if the opponent would have known, like he was like passing gas in the corner. If the opponent would have known, he'd have hit him, he'd have went to his body, but we didn't let nobody know. But he'd have went to his body, we'd have been in big trouble, my man. He probably would have got stopped. You know what I mean? Like that was tough. You know what I mean? So you don't know what fights is hard and what fights is easy just because the points don't say it's because the points that are being scored is more on the other end.
Right.